it's Miss Adkins. I'm going to be teaching your last reading lesson today of the week out of your Journey's Closed Reader, so you may get that in a pencil. And if you can see, I have my buddy beside me. He's taking a nap. He's all comfy on his blanket. So he'll probably lay here while I read. I'm going to go to our table of contents. Yeah, the other day, on Wednesday, we read about the rainforest. So today I'm going to go to lesson 13. And this lesson is all about the 4 seasons for animals. And it starts on page 48. So we're going to turn to 48. And it looks like this. Here's our title. It's down here in the middle. It says 4 seasons for animals. Do y'all remember what the 4 seasons of the year are? I know what season we're in right now, and it's spring, because I know there's lots of rain, and the grass has been turning green, and the flowers are starting to grow. And this picture actually looks like it's springtime. Okay, we're going to read the background information. It says the 4 seasons are spring, summer, fall, and winter. Every year we have the same seasons in the same order. Animals do different things in each season. And our setting of purpose says we're going to read to find out what happens in each season of the year. And it looks like we're going to start with spring. Number 1 at the top said to circle the heading for this part of the text. And I've already done that. You may circle the heading, and the headings on each page are actually, in this story, going to be the 4 seasons. So if we look at the heading, we know which season they're talking about. They're going to be talking about spring on this page. Okay, I'm going to be reading it, and I want you to point along at home as I read it. It says, "It is spring. Young animals run and play. Bird nests," there's a net. Okay, sorry, I'm going to have to start over. A net's over here flying around. It is spring. Young animals run and play. Bird nests are full of eggs. Soon the eggs will hatch. Spring brings rain. Grass turns green and grows tall. Buds grow on trees and plants. Spring also brings rain puddles. Flower buds get wet. And rain helps the new plants grow. Oh, and I really do like spring because when it's raining, I like to sit inside, and sometimes we have a fire in our fireplace. And Bear likes to snuggle in his blanket in the spring when it's raining. So we're going to go ahead and do the bottom. We're going to reread page 49, and it says to answer this question: what do young animals do in the spring? Oh, so I'm going to have to go back up here and read and see what young animals do. Okay, so it says, it is spring. Young animals run and play. Ooh, I can stop right there. I've already found my answer. I'm going to kind of underline it. This tells me right here what the young animals do in the spring. So I wrote a sentence down at the bottom. It says, young animals run and play. And then I added in spring, so we knew which season we were talking about. And remember, you may begin your sentence with a capital, and you need to end it with a period. I'll give you a minute to do that. Oh, I see a bird up here making a nest. The other day, me and my kids were walking outside, and since it's springtime, we saw a bird nest up in a tree, and we couldn't really see if there were eggs in there, but we shouldn't bother eggs if there were, because then the mother might not come back and take care of them. So we just left it there. But, so if you see a bird nest, don't ever grab it or try to take it down. But right now you might see lots of them if you're walking around your yard and looking up in the trees. And this actually looks like a robin. Did you know that robins They have this orangish red color on underneath them, and they actually do lay blue eggs. And see how the eggs are kind of blue? So those look like robin eggs. Okay, when you're done with your sentence, you may turn your page. This is going to tell us our next season. If I look at the heading, it says summer. And the top tells me to read and underline the detail that tells what insects do in the summer. So I'm going to get my pen ready, and as I read, when I find out what insects do, I'm going to underline it. Okay, you're going to point as I read it. It says, it is summer. Buds open and flowers bloom in the bright sun. Insects buzz here and there. Oh, there's my answer. Because it asked us, what do insects do in the summer? I'm going to underline the sentence. Insects buzz here and there. That tells me what the insects are doing. Okay, it says, now there are chicks in the bird nest. Their mother will teach them how to fly. It can get very hot in the summer. Many animals live near the pond. Ducks swim in the pond. And fox pups cool off in the shade. So these look like fox pups over here, getting a drink from the pond. Okay, we're going to look at the bottom. It says to reread page 50. I got that up too high. What animals swim in the pond? Write it below. Oh, and down here it told me in my last paragraph that many animals live near the pond. Ducks swim in the pond. Oh, so that tells me right there. Bear snoring. It tells me right here that ducks swim in the pond. So I read at the bottom, ducks swim in the pond, because it told me right up here in this paragraph. You may copy my sentence down, but don't forget to begin it with a capital letter and end it with a period. And you can write underneath the line if you need to. And you may pause the video if you need to another minute. I'm going to go ahead and turn to the next page. My next season, if I look at the header, it says fall. Okay, it says to underline the sentence that tells why some animals eat a lot in the fall. So I'm going to get my pen ready, and as I'm reading, I'm going to be thinking about why do animals need to eat a lot in the fall? When I find my answer, I'm going to underline it. Okay, it says, it is fall. Leaves fall down. Animals get ready for winter. Some animals eat as much as they can. They need to store fat because food is scarce in the winter. Ooh, and I saw a sentence that told me why animals need to eat a lot. It says right here, some animals eat as much as they can. They need to store fat because food is scarce in the winter. Do y'all know what scarce means? That means there's not much food in the winter. So they have to get as fat as they can and store as much fat as possible so that they can survive through the winter when they don't have much to eat. So you may underline the sentences that I just did. And I'm going to read the last paragraph. It says, squirrels and chipmunks gather nuts so they will have enough food for the winter. And I see a squirrel gathering acorns. And this looks like a chipmunk also gathering nuts. Down at the bottom it says, which animals collect nuts in the fall? Oh, we just talked about that in that last paragraph. It says squirrels and chipmunks gather nuts, and it shows them right here. So I went back up and Made sure you spell squirrels and chipmunks right. And I wrote squirrels and chipmunks gather nuts. I had to kind of move to the bottom line. But you may copy my sentence down. And don't forget to begin your sentence correct and end it correct. You're probably going to have to pause the video again so you have time to write it. Make sure you can see it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn to the last 2 pages. This next page talks about our next season, or our last season in here, which is winter. I see winter up here as my heading. As we read, we're going to circle the word that tells where some animals sleep in the winter. So I'm going to get my pen ready again. And when I know where the animals sleep in the winter, when I find that, I'm going to circle it. Okay, you may point as I read. It says, it is winter. Winter can be very cold and wet. Bears hibernate in the winter. That means they sleep. Well, I still don't know which word tells me where they sleep, so I'm going to keep reading. Many other animals hibernate in the winter. They curl up in dens to keep safe from the cold and wet. Oh, did y'all see a word there that told you where the animals sleep? I saw one. Let me grab my pen. Did you see the word dens? I'm going to circle the word dens. That tells me where lots of animals sleep in the winter. Down at the bottom, I see a bear sleeping in a den. And lots of animals make dens underground, so where it's a little bit warmer in the winter. And that's where they hibernate. And then the bottom says, reread page 52. What is the heading for this part of the text? Write it below. Now this one is pretty simple. If I look back at the heading, remember the heading tells me which season we're in, or we're talking about. The heading was winter. So I wrote winter at the bottom. We only wrote one word for our answer this time. Okay, we only have one more page left, the last page. It says at the top, we're going to read and underline the name of the season that will come again after winter. So, I'm going to go ahead and read, and we're thinking of the season that comes after winter. He is snoring. It says, like all the seasons, the winter will pass. The animals, Bear, I had to wake you up. He is tired. I'm going to try it one more time. Like all the seasons, the winter will pass. The animals know that spring will come once again. Oh, so what season came after winter? I can see it up here. After winter, we just got done with winter. And so what season is it now? Now it is spring. So we're going to underline spring because that's the season that comes after winter. Okay, then there is another question at the bottom. It says to reread pages 49 through 53. That means the whole story. You're going to reread the whole story. And you're going to tell about something special that happens in one season. And you're going to write it below. So I'm going to let you do this last part by yourself. You're going to pick one season to write about. You may pick our first season, spring. You can write about spring. You may pick summer. You may write about fall. Or you might write about winter. And you're going to make one sentence about one of those seasons and tell me something that happens in that season. Okay? And you can go back and read and do that with a parent. Okay? Don't forget to begin your sentence with a capital and end it with a period, like we've been learning. All right? That is all I have for you today. I hope everyone has an awesome weekend, and I'll see you next time.